Okay, I don't think other than Ujama, what have you, I don't think he's being intentionally, um, whatever adjective you feel fits. But I do think there are some just excruciating misunderstandings that are being perpetrated here. Okay, this might help. We have we have cultural proposition of duality of gender. We have masculinity. We have femininity. Um, and we have a whole lot of stuff in between, which may be just a robust or a robust identity, or may actually be in the domain of genderqueer. That's largely an individual call. Although I would say, honestly, I would say that a perception that one is excluded from mainstream narratives is a pretty good litmus test for whether the genderqueer label actually applies. Um, so we've got very ambiguous territory. We've got if anything, a too sharply defined notion of masculinity, a too sharply defined notion of femininity, and in between, whole lot of I don't know. And also necessarily recognizing that even those sharply defined poles shift over time. That ambiguous middle ground is not where people seeking SRS fit. They're not operating from a position of ambiguity. They're not someone seeking M to F sex reassignment surgery is not saying, well, I don't really feel comfortable with masculinity. I think there's more to me than that, or there are pieces of me that don't. It's not an ambiguous statement at all. You don't. People do not undergo months of psychological evaluation and a very arduous medical process, which incidentally is probably predicated on years of hormone replacement therapy before they're even considered a viable candidate for SRS. So let's not short the timeline here. Um, no ambiguity. There's no ambiguity there. It is that femininity, that thing. That's what a woman is. And yeah, there's some flexibility within that femininity, um, but that's what I am. It is a statement of strong identification with an existing narrative, not a declaration that existing narratives are insufficient. Now, a lot of other ground that could be and probably should be covered. Um, but honestly, I don't. I have limited patience, and I know other people as well have limited patience and limited resources to engage. Let's not to put too fine a point on it, but you're not the most offensive voice, Ujama. You're not the most offensive voice in this dialogue, although you frequently find yourself on the same side of an issue with persons that are considerably more inflammatory and downright hateful than yourself. Um, I might engage this issue at greater length. Um, I might not. I've got a hell of a lot going on, but if nothing else for crying out loud, just do me a favor and stop pretending that you understand this. Stop pretending that this is a set of experiences that is formative to your life, because it's not. And that's obvious every time you open your mouth on the issue. And that's fine. That's fine. I know next to nothing about the day-to-day living in rural Zaire, which is why I don't fucking talk about it.